Do you know that you can make liquid laundry detergent with bar soap? Yes, you heard me right. I made this beautiful liquid laundry detergent with bar soap and it's super easy to make. All is required is just two ingredients, and trust me, it is super easy and also very affordable. And yes, it sells really well. It foams really good. Now if you're interested, let's get down to business. Hi friend, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. In this video today, I'll teach you how to make liquid laundry detergent using bar soap. Now to make your liquid laundry detergent, here are all the requirements. Now the first ingredient you need is borax, or you can use washing soda. Washing soda is also known as soda ash or sodium carbonate. So you can either use borax or soda ash, or you can use SLS. I'm using SLS for this. So usually I use borax, but today I don't have borax, so I'll be using SLS rice. So like I said earlier, you can either use borax or you can use washing soda, but in the absence of borax and washing soda, we're using SLS, which is sodium lauryl sulfate, also known as SLS rice. So all you have to do is get your SLS rice and grind it into a powder form. But this is totally optional. You can just go ahead with the next process if you don't have a blender to grind this into a powder form. But I just like doing it this way because it helps to dissolve easily when it's in a powder form. So after grinding your SLS rice, that's if you're using SLS rice, you can then move on to the next process. Now, if you're using borax, you'll be using 600 grams of borax for 15 liters. And same goes with the soda ash. If you're using soda ash, you need 600 grams. Now for the SLS, I'll be using 200 grams as an alternative ingredient. But just in case you want to increase the quantity, you can increase it to 300 grams. So I'll be using 200 grams of SLS. So that's it. Now, after grinding the SLS, the next thing you need is bar soap. And for the bar soap, I'll be using my homemade bar soap, and I highly recommend homemade bar soap for this. Now reason is because commercial bar soap is much more concentrated compared to homemade, because homemade has more water and also more glycerin in it. So, and also the process of making homemade bar soap, both the cold press and hot press, is quite different from commercial. So I highly recommend you using homemade bar soap for this, or you can just try the commercial. But I've been making do with homemade bar soap and it has been amazing. So all you have to do, get your bar soap and then you need to grate it. I tried doing this with my food processor. At a point I discovered that it was just cutting it into chunks, so I had to use my grater to do it. So if you have your bar soap, go on and grate it. Now I'll be making 15 liters of liquid laundry detergent, and I'll be using 1500 grams of bar soap. Now this is to say that if you want to make it in a small quantity, you can divide the measurements into two. Take for example, you want to make 5 liters, so you can use 500 grams of bar soap, and if you want to make 10 liters, you can use 1000 grams, and if you want to make 15 liters, you can use 1500 grams of bar soap. So like I said earlier, you need to grate it because we need this to dissolve in water. So grating is really very important. It helps the dissolving process. So if you're into soap business, this is actually a very good idea for you, because if you have those small soap that you always cut out, you can use it for this. After grating soap, the next thing you need is pot and water. Now for the pot, you need a very big pot, especially if you're making this quantity. If you're making 15 liters, you need a very big pot. So like I said, you need water, and in here I have my 5000 ml measuring cup. So we're making 15 liters and I will start with 10 liters. So firstly I added 5 liters of water, and then I'll go on and add the remaining 5 liters, making it 10 liters of water, and that is what I'm starting with. Please take note, we're starting with 10 liters, so later on we're going to add the remaining 5 liters. So after that, go on and pour your borax, either your borax or your washing soda or your SLS. So like I said, I'm using SLS for this, but mainly I use borax, which is really good for this. Like, it's absolutely perfect. One of the major advantage of using borax is that it improves the consistency. So if you want it thick, that means you have to use borax, because it will improve the consistency. And now moving on. So after you pour the SLS or your borax, go on and stir properly well to dissolve, and after that you can go on and pour your grated bar soap. Just as you're seeing it in the video, it's super easy. All you have to do is to get a pot, pour in your water, and after pouring in the water, go on and add your borax and stir to dissolve, and after that go in with your grated bar soap. So that's just the process. It's super easy. So immediately you pour in the grated soap, make sure to stir. This will help to separate the soap so that it doesn't stick together. So you're going to stir it just as I seen it in the video, and after that you can go on and add the remaining 5 liters. So go on and add the remaining 5 liters, and after that you can give it a little stir, then turn on the heat. Now please take note, if you're making exactly 15 liters, you need to be very sure that the pot you're using is enough to contain 15 liters of water and the 1,500 grams of bar soap, and also the borax. Now take for example, if you're making 15 liters, the pot needs to be 20 liters. And if you're making 10 liters, the pot needs to be at least 15 liters to 20 liters so that it can be able to contain all this. So after adding all the ingredients in the pot, it's time to turn on the heat. So turn on the heat and then stir from time to time until it starts to simmer. And when it starts to simmer, reduce the heat to a very low heat. So reduce it, and then you're going to also keep stirring from time to time until everything is properly dissolved. And when it's properly dissolved, it's going to look exactly like this, just as I've seen it in the video. Please do not allow this to boil, because if it boils, it might actually spill. So you wouldn't want that. So keep stirring from time to time until everything is properly dissolved, and it must be on a low heat. And now you can see how it's looking, and this is exactly how it should be. And at this point, it's time to bring it down from the heat and then transfer it into a bowl. Honestly, if you try this out, you are really going to love it, because it's super easy and also eco-friendly. You don't have to spend too much on this. Just your bar soap and your borax, and you're good to go. Trust me, you're going to love it. Now moving on. So now we're going to leave it for some time before we continue with the next process. So when you transfer it into the bowl, you allow it to sit for some time. As you can see, it's very hot, so we need to leave it for some time before we continue with the next process. And also you can see how clear this is looking. Yeah, it's going to come out very clear, just like our transparent liquid soap. Now please note, if you're using soda ash, you'll be needing citric acid, because soda ash is highly alkaline. So if you add soda ash, it's going to drop the pH, and you need citric acid to adjust the pH. And one more thing, I like doing this with plain soap. Now this is the reason I like doing this with plain soap, because when you use plain soap, it comes out clear and you can easily detect when everything is properly dissolved. And another advantage is that you can add your own color, which is any color of your choice. So if you're doing this with plain bar soap, that is to say that when it's properly dissolved, it's going to come out this clear, and you can be able to add your own color. But if you use colored soap, you might actually find it difficult to spot when everything is properly dissolved, or also to go in with an additional color. Now moving on. Now after 45 minutes, this is how it's looking. You can see that the bubbles has gone down and is looking clearer now, and that's exactly how it should be. So at this point, I'll go on and add color. Now, adding color to this is totally optional. You can actually leave it like this without color. But I just like adding color to this for beauty. I mean, it's liquid soap. So adding color is good. So I'll be using blue color for this. You can do with any color of your choice. So just add your preferred color and then stir properly well, just the same way you add color to your liquid soap. So when you add the color, stir properly well to mix, and that's it. Now here's another thing you can do here. You can add extra ingredients like glycerin or fragrance. I don't add any extra fragrance or glycerin because my homemade bar soap had enough glycerin in it, and also it smells good, so I don't need to add extra fragrance or glycerin. So just in case you still need to add extra fragrance to it, just allow it to cool completely. When it cools completely, you can go on and add your glycerin or your fragrance. But honestly, if the bar soap smells nice, you don't need extra fragrance because it's still going to smell good. Trust me, it's still going to smell very good. So just make sure that the bar soap smells nice so that you wouldn't need to add extra fragrance to it. But if there is need to add extra fragrance, go on and add your fragrance when it has properly cooled. And also same goes to the glycerin. If there's still need to add glycerin, go on and add your glycerin. So like I said earlier, if you're using soda ash, you need citric acid to adjust the pH, and adding citric acid can also help to increase the consistency, to help to make it more thick. So you need like 30 grams of citric acid. So that's it. Now you can see the consistency is super watery, so we need to leave it for like 24 hours to cool completely. So leaving it to cook completely will help to improve the consistency, especially if you use the borax. So you will see that the consistency will improve. But if you make this for home use, you can actually start using it at this point. But if you really want it thick, you need to allow it to cool completely. So you're going to leave it, cover it with a cloth and allow it to sit for at least 24 hours so that it can completely cool, and then you can then notice the difference in the consistency. So this is the next day, and now our soap is completely cooled and settled, and now you can see the consistency. So you can see that it's not as runny as it was before. Now trust me, if you use borax for this, you will have a more thick soap. Same goes to the soda ash. If you use soda ash and you use the citric acid to adjust the pH, it's going to come out thick. Now just in case you're wondering if you can add nitrosol or HPMC to make it more thick, the answer is no. Please do not add nitrosol or HPMC to this because it's going to create lumps. It's going to be very lumpy, and also it's going to reduce the foaming ability. And you also need to add extra ingredients like preservative. So please do not add any nitrosol or HPMC. Now just in case you're also wondering if you can add Texapon to this, it's optional. I don't really see any reason to add Texapon to this unless you're not sure of the bar soap. Unless the bar soap doesn't sort well, then you can add Texapon, but I don't see any need to add Texapon. So please, if you're sure of the bar soap, if the bar soap sorts well, just use only the bar soap, water and borax. So you can package it with any packaging bottle of your choice. And since it's a laundry liquid detergent, you can package it in a 1 liter container, 5 liters, 10 liters, or anything. That's if you're making it for sale. Yeah, you can also make this for sale. Trust me, you can make this for sale. And it sorts really well. It foams really well. This is just like liquid OMO. It forms really well, and I'll show you. This is really good. This is super good. If you try this out, you will not believe the outcome because it's super good. Now let me show you how to use this. It's just the same way you use your liquid detergent. If you're using washing machine, fill in the washing machine with water, and after that pour the liquid detergent, and then pour your clothes and start to wash. Now I'm going to use this and wash now to show you how well this foams. Now please take note, if you want your liquid detergent to foam really well, please make sure that the bar soap foams well. Make sure you're using a very good bar soap that foams really well as well. And same goes to the fragrance. If you don't want to add extra fragrance, make sure that the bar soap smells good as well. That's just it. So if you're using a good bar soap that foams well and also that smells good, you don't need extra fragrance, and your soap will foam really well, just as you're seeing it in the video. You can see how well this soap suds. So it's very easy and also very affordable, and especially if you use borax will help the consistency. So that's it. Now you can see it in the bottle. It's looking very beautiful and it foams really well. That's another thing I love about this method. The soap foams really well. Trust me, you will not imagine how well this suds. It suds really well, foams really well. It foams and it smells good as well. Trust me, it smells really good even without adding extra fragrance. It smells good and it's very affordable. You don't have to spend too much, you don't have to do too much. It's just very easy. So I use this method sometimes because it's super easy and also very affordable. So you can see with just this 1500 grams of bar soap, I was able to make 15 liters of liquid soap. So you can imagine the consistency is good. You can see it, especially if you're using borax. It's going to improve the consistency. Just take a look at it without borax and you can see. And for the soda ash, if you're using soda ash, please do well to also adjust the pH with citric acid. In fact, I'll just say make sure to add citric acid if you're using either borax or soda ash. Just add citric acid so as to balance the pH. So that's the end of this video, friend. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're just joining me for the first time, my name is Gifty and I'm super excited to welcome you to the Giftings family. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also turn on your notification bell so that you'll be the first to watch my next video. And at the end of this video, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave your comments down below, and do not also forget to share this video to your friends. And now to my beautiful, wonderful, and amazing gift team. Thank you for always being here and I love you guys. So friend, I'll see you in my next video. But before then, stay blessed and keep loving one another. Bye friend.